Hello, my name is Philip and this is 4 Phrasal Verbs. If you're new to my channel, welcome. The phrasal verbs I'll be talking about in this video are figure out, focus on, run into and sort out. On the screen at the moment you can see the content along with the time that each chapter starts. Down in the progress bar is YouTube's new chapter headings, and in the text description are quick jump links as well. All of those things mean that you can jump directly to any particular part of the video that interests you. And remember, I highly recommend doing the quiz multiple times after you've watched this video in full. In this video, I'm going to be talking about phrasal verbs that can be used with problems. But I want to talk about the word problem very briefly. The words we use are important. They change the way people respond to what we're saying. The word problem has a negative connotation most times. If you were to replace the word with issue, you make the situation a little bit more neutral. If you want to be even more positive, you can replace the word with challenge. Challenge gives the impression of something that you want to do. It's difficult, but when you do it, you have a sense of achievement. Now, it's not possible to replace the word problem with issue or challenge every single time, but all I want you to do is ask yourself this question. Is problem the best word to use in this situation? From this video onwards, I will be creating a poster for each of the phrasal verbs. You can see it here. Now, I designed this poster specifically to be printed for a classroom or a notice board, but if you want to, you can save it to your mobile device and use it as a reference. If you do print it, you'll notice that there are some spaces under each of the phrasal verbs. That's to allow you to make some notes, but I will be making a separate video about how to record and study phrasal verbs. Again, if you do print it, in the bottom right hand corner is a QR code. That will allow you to use your mobile device with the proper application to scan that code, and then you will open this particular video. It's a high resolution PDF file, so if you do print it, you can print it to at least or maximum of A1 size. The link to this poster is in the text description. Figure out. Figure out is separable and transitive. It means to understand or solve a problem, depends on the context. If the problem is more abstract and just requires information, then figure out is the perfect one to use. If it requires a physical solution, sometimes it's used to say that you've actually solved the problem, but other times it might be to show that you've just understood the problem, but you still need to find a separate solution. Here are some examples. Don't worry, I figured out why the lights don't work. Or, quickly, we need to figure this out. Focus on. Focus on is inseparable and transitive. Focus on means to concentrate on, to put your attention on something. Now, it probably comes from the visual photography field, where when something is in focus, you can see it clearly, it's in detail. The opposite would be out of focus, but it would be blurry, like those very modern photograph selfies where the person is very clear, but then the background, especially when there's lights, is very blurry. So it probably comes from this idea that when you focus on something, you give your attention to that thing. Here are some examples. Research shows we should focus on reducing consumption. You should focus all your effort on fixing the leak first. Run into is inseparable and transitive, and it means to encounter by chance. So you see or something happens and you didn't expect it, you didn't plan it. Here's some examples. Guess who I ran into at the post office today? Now this means that you met somebody by accident, by chance. They were both in the post office, you had no plan to meet that person there, and you met them. Or, why is it always me that runs into these types of issues? Meaning you seem to be the unlucky one that always encounters these issues. Sort out. Sort out is separable and transitive, and it means to organise, manage or control something. Here are some examples. This office is a mess. We need to sort it out immediately. Why don't we sort out this problem first and worry about the rest later? Okay, it's time to look at the real-world examples from Twitter. Let's go. So this one says, figure out what matters to you and let the rest go. So it's saying find out what's important to you, and then when she says let the rest go means ignore the rest. Here's one, a quote from Michael Jordan. Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it or work around it. Now, the run into is the phrasal verb as well, talking about unexpectedly encountering some limitation or obstacle. But of course, the part here that I'm interested in is the figure out, find the solution. Here's one with a photo, and this is Boris Johnson, who's at the time of this video, the UK Prime Minister. And it says, me, after a night out, trying to figure out what's vegan on the takeaway menu. And this person is imagining that they're looking up in a takeaway and trying to decide, is that vegan or not? So they're trying to understand something. This next one says, judge no one, focus on personal development. And what it means is don't worry about anybody else. You concentrate on improving yourself. Here's a longer tweet, but we're only interested in the beginning. It says, focus on what matters, meaning concentrate or put your effort into the things that are important. The rest of the tweet is very good, but it's not part of this video, but read it if you want to. This one's from Microsoft Outlook. Thanks for flagging this with us. That means for notifying us. The engineering team confirmed the issue should now be resolved. Notice they say issue, not problem. If you continue to run into problems, please let us know. So if you encounter problems, please tell us. Now they used issue and problems in this case because they didn't want to repeat the word problems. So that's another reason for thinking about the words you use so that you don't duplicate something. Here's one from Planet Fitness. We're sad to hear this. Please reach out to staff, which means to contact them. I'll talk about that in another video. To a staff member if anything needs attention, or if you run into issues with fellow members. So again, it means that if you have a situation which is not so positive, or you have a problem with a fellow member. And a fellow member means another member, a member of the same gymnasium. Here's Sean the sheep. When you remember that working from home means that you have to sort out your own IT issues. IT means information technology. Basically, it's computing or computers. And in this case, it means you have to fix the problem. Don't just have to organise, but you actually have to fix it as well. Here's one talking about the COVID. So President was diagnosed with SARS-CoV-2 infection evening on October 1st. First and foremost, we wish him and FLOTUS a speedy recovery. FLOTUS is the First Lady of the United States. We also need to sort out who else has been infected. And what this person is saying, we need to find out, we need to know the information, we need to organise it. And those are the real world examples from Twitter. Time for the quiz. And remember, I'm looking for feedback on the quiz. Tell me what you like and what you don't like about it. I'd also like to remind you that I highly recommend doing the quiz multiple times. Come on, let's get started. The adjective for this video's comment homework is unforeseen. Unforeseen means you didn't expect it. It wasn't planned. As usual, there are 3 parts to the comment homework. The first part is to write a long sentence or preferably a short paragraph using each of the phrasal verbs. Try to use something that's from your life, because if it's real, you'll more likely remember it and then be able to use it in the future. Number 2, to translate the phrasal verb or the meaning of the phrasal verb into your native language. Remember, I won't be checking these, but perhaps other speakers of your language can check that that's correct. And the third one is for you to see if you find these phrasal verbs in your daily usage. You can go looking for them specifically, but it's better if you hopefully just encounter them, if you just run into them almost. Now, you should do that on TV shows, movies, maybe podcasts, magazine articles on the internet or in print or in books, hopefully where they have been used in a very natural setting. So don't forget, put your homework in the comments and I'll do my best to check everyone. This is a subscription button. If and only if you think my content is useful, please subscribe. Up here is a basic introduction to phrasal verbs, and down here is a video that YouTube thinks is a good fit for you based on what you've been watching. And remember, do something every single day to improve your English. See ya.